Distinguished members, shall we pray? Almighty God, the creator and ruler of heaven and earth, we beseech thee to inspire and guide all our actions so that we may always walk in the path of justice, love, and charity to one another. Help us with thy grace to do only those things that will promote the unity, peace, happiness, and prosperity of Nigeria in general and Lagos State in particular. Amen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to today's proceeding. Shall we quickly go through the votes and proceeding of Tuesday, the second day of June 2020? Page 146. 146. 147. 1. Your light is on.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker, the temporary. I took an excuse from Mr. Speaker to be absent on Tuesday, 2nd June. So I'm supposed to be under absent excuse.
Mr. Clerk, please take notes. 148. 149. 150. 'I've considered the votes and proceeding of Tuesday, 2nd June 2020, and approval is hereby given. Mr. Clerk, any message from the governor?
Speaker pro tempore, distinguished honorable members, we have a letter from Mr. Governor, and the letter is addressed to Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, the Right Honorable Speaker of the Ninth Assembly, Lagos State House of Assembly. Dear Honorable Speaker, and the correspondence is titled, Forwarding of the Name and Resume of a New Nominee for Confirmation as Member, Lagos State Audit Service Commission. With your kind permission, I'll read. Please refer to the above subject matter. Further to the clearance of only 4 out of the 5 nominees presented for confirmation as chairman and members, Lagos State Audit Service Commission, and in line with Section 198 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, I'm pleased to forward herewith the name and resume of a new nominee as member of the Service Commission for the kind consideration and confirmation of honorable members of the House of Assembly. They are as presented hereunder. Mrs. Kafilat Ogbara, member. Importantly, and in the interest of cohesion of a great party, the All Progressives Congress, APC, the same division, geopolitical zone in the state was availed the opportunity to present an alternative nominee whose details are as forwarded above. Accordingly, and while expressing my confidence in the Ninth Legislative Assembly, I'm trusting that the Right Honorable Speaker will facilitate an expeditious screening of the nominee in view of my desire to conduct the swearing-in of successful candidates at the earliest time possible, please. In the meantime, kindly accept the assurances of my regards for yourself and members of our esteemed State House of Assembly always. Signed, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, Governor of Lagos State. That's all, sir.
Thank you. Any other announcements?
Sir, please be informed that there will be an inaugural meeting of the Committee on Public Procurement immediately after the day sitting at the conference room, 4th floor, Members Wing, Assembly Complex, Alausa Ikeja. Signed, Honorable Rauf O.A., Chairman, Public Procurement Committee. Sir, I also have here with me a correspondent in respect of the demise of Mr. Erinle Oluwasegun Oluwakemi, Chief Legislative Officer, Legislative Matter Directorate, on Thursday, 4th June 2020, after a brief illness. He is survived by 4 children. May his soul rest in peace. That's all, sir.
Thank you. Petitions?
None, sir.
Matter of urgent public importance? None. Personal explanations? None. Reports? None. Business of the day. Deputy Majority Leader.
Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, may I invite Honorable Rt.Akande to lay his report. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Speaker, good afternoon. Distinguished colleagues, good afternoon. I'm here this afternoon to lay a report of the 9-man fact-finding and Adhoc committee on the allegation against the House and Mr. Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa. Isolate.
Deputy Majority Leader.
Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, business of the day. We have presentation of reports. 9-man fact-finding ad hoc committee on the allegations against the House and the Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, by Honorable Rt.Akande Ojowan, Chairman, 9-man ad hoc committee. Mr. Speaker, sir, for us to take this report, may I move that this House resolves to committee of the whole. I so move.
Honorable Lua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second the motion as moved.
Those in support say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Report of the nine-man fact-finding and Adhoc committee on the allegations against the House and Mr. Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa. Preambles. It will be recalled that at the plenary session on Monday, 23rd March 2020, the clerk of the House drew the attention of the House to a publication by Sahara reporters and online news media in which it was alleged that the House had some dealings with certain listed companies connected to the Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa. While the allegation was denied by the clerk of the House as the chief accounting officer and corroborated by the Speaker as unfounded, series of similar allegations against the House and the Speaker bordering on financial improprieties were consistently published online in subsequent months. As honorable members took turn to deny the allegations, the matter generated a lot of concerns from the public, with some scathing reactions coming from some civil rights activists and organizations which accuse the House and its leadership of corruption. Consequently, concerned by the damaging effects of the allegations on the image and integrity of the House, a nine-man fact-finding Adhoc committee was constituted by the House to investigate the allegations in order to verify the claims of the publishers and other accusers and to advise the House on the appropriate course of action. Membership of the Adhoc committee are Honorable Akande OV, Chairman, Honorable Olu RE, Member, Honorable Engineer Ishau GOR, Member, Honorable Kazim Rahim, Member, Honorable Gudimu O, Member, Honorable Shokule OH, Member, Honorable Owolabi IAO, Member, Honorable Mrs. Ali Macaulay KM, Member, Honorable Olumo SL, Member. Members of the Secretariat are Mr. Omoyele AO, Secretary, Mr. Ogunlanobi, Assistant Secretary, Mrs. Oshinowo AA, Deputy Director, Legislative Council, Mrs. Oshoba T, Assistant Chief Legislative Council. Times of reference. The committee at its inaugural meeting held on Wednesday, 3rd June 2020, deliberated on the times of reference and modalities for the investigation and highlighted the following areas. 1, to conduct an open investigation on all the allegations by inviting the writers of the publications and other accusers to present evidences to prove the allegations and claims. 1.4, methodology. To invite all media houses, print, electronic, including TVC, LTV8, LTV8, and about 15 others, as well as online media, to cover a live session of the investigation sessions. To investigate each of the allegations and accusation as follows. 1, title of the allegation and summary. We have 64 bank accounts linked to the BVN of Lagos State Assembly Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa. That 64 accounts were discovered to be linked to the bank verification number of Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, the BVN number being 2296663231, reveals that Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa operates account with multiple names in Polaris Bank, Zenith Bank, Access Bank, Echo Bank, Stanbic Bank, Guarantee Bank, IBTC Bank, United Bank for Africa, First City Monument Bank, and Wema Bank. That some of the companies linked to the BVN include Adesav International Ventures, Fabric Splash Ventures, Swift Hill International Ventures, and Quick Solution International. 2, that Obasa, the Deputy Speaker, and 17 others members received 80 million as estate code. That Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, the Deputy Speaker, and 17 others members received 80 million as estate code for attending a 5-day event in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. 3, Lagos Assembly Speaker Obasa approves 47.5 million for quarterly media promotion of the House. That lawmakers in the State House of Assembly have been looting 47.5 million per quarter from the state treasury and spent on media influencers. That the money is paid to a media company to help publicize the activities of the House. 4, Lagos Assembly Speaker Obasa pay 60 million to social media influencers to attack Sahara reporters. That Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa paid 60 million to social media influencers to attack Sahara reporters on Twitter and other social networking platforms. 5, Lagos Assembly Speaker Obasa fraudulently collected 53 million for travel with mistress to United States. That the Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, got approval to facilitate trip to Georgia, United States for 2019 U.S. Nigerian Trade and Investment Global Summit to be attended by members and stars. The event was postponed, but fund diverted while no other staff or member attended the event. That only Honorable Folajimi Mohammed traveled to the United States at the time Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa and his mistress jetted out to America. 6, group petitions President Buhari, National Crime Agency over gross financial misconduct, abuse of office by Lagos Assembly Speaker Obasa. That the Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, without proper adherence to lay down procedures and statutory approval, acquire 80 cars for the use of members of the Assembly, as well as 11 other vehicles within 11 months. 7, Lagos Assembly Speaker Obasa approved 258 million for printing of invitation cards for House inauguration 2 months after the event was held. That the Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, approved the sum of 258 million for the printing of invitation cards for the inauguration of lawmakers in the night assembly 2 months after the event was held. 8, Speaker of Lagos Assembly Obasa award contract to serve through company registered in son's name. That the Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, has a list of companies he had been using to award contracts to himself in the Lagos State House of Assembly. 9, how Obasa's wife received 10 million naira illegal monthly allocation from Lagos Assembly. That the Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, fraudulently disburses 10 million naira monthly allocation to his wife under the guise of gender inclusiveness program for women. 10, Lagos Assembly Speaker Obasa approved 51 million for 4-day leadership summit in Austria with 9 other persons. That the Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, approved 51,477,987 naira for himself and 9 others to attend a leadership summit in Vienna, Austria, which was not held. 11, House Speaker of Lagos Assembly Obasa tricked ex-state governor Ambode to collect 350 million for 5-day conference. That the Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, tricked the former governor Akimi Ambode to approve expenditure for a 5-day conference of speakers in Lagos when the Speaker knew the conference would take place for only 3 days. 12, Lagos Speaker Obasa gets 17 million monthly for maintenance of personal residence guest house that Speaker Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, through a proxy company, made the Assembly approve 17 million for the maintenance of his personal residence, guest house, and office. 14. Lagos Assembly Speaker gives mistress 34 million to organize media CSOP Pali. Chief Society Organization Pali, that the Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, made the Parliament approved 34.7 million for the organization of media and civil society organization Pali, which he gave his protocol officer to handle. 15. Speaker of Lagos Assembly Obasa collected 45 million for Christmas party that was never held. That the Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, illegally collected 45,750,000 for a Christmas party that was never held. Despite the party not taking place, the money approved and released by Obasa was never accounted for. 3. To invite the Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, to explain the allegations leveled against him by the accusers before the committee. 4. To invite all other persons and organizations concerned regarding the allegations, including both the accusers and the banks mentioned in the publication, for clarification as follows. A. The accusers: Sahara Reporters, Human and Environmental Development Agenda. 3. Budgets. 4. Concerned Nigerians. 5. Independent Diaspora Nigeria Against Corruptions. And 6. Mr. Bayo Oluwasanmi, Sahara Reporter. Others invited for clarification: the Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Eshinloku Sani Wasiu, Honorable Tunde Braimo, Chairman of the House Committee on Information, Strategy, Publicity, and Security. 4. Mr. A.A. Sani, the Clerk of the House. 5. The General Manager, Lagos State Public Procurement Agency. Access Bank, Eco Bank, Wema Bank, United Bank for Africa, Polaris Bank, Zenith Bank, First City Monument Bank, Mr. Babajide Otitoloju, Media Analyst, TVC. Commencement of investigation on day 1. 2.2. On Thursday, 4th June 2020, the committee sitting commenced at 10:15 a.m. The chairman of the committee, Honorable Victor Akande, stated that the series of online publications and comments over the past 2 months alleging the House and the Speaker of Financial Impropriety necessitated the House to set up a 9-man fact-finding and Adhoc committee to critically investigate the veracity of the allegations as it affects the touring image and integrity of the House, and hence the need to take appropriate actions on same. He added that the House had nothing to hide, as the investigation was an open and transparent one, with members of the press in attendance to cover the proceedings. He informed the meeting that the following organizations were invited by the committee, which were still being expected to appear. 1. Sahara Reporter. 2. Women and Environmental Development Agenda. And 3. Budget. 4. Concerned Nigerians. 5. Independent Diaspora Nigerian Against Corruption. 6. Mr. Bayo Oluwasanmi, Sahara Reporter. After waiting for the invitees, accusers, who had not shown up, the meeting was adjourned for an hour pending their arrival. Committee resumed hearing at 1:29 p.m. The committee resumed after over an hour, and there have been no representation from the organization invited. The chairman declared the meeting closed for the day at 1:30 p.m. He thereafter informed the meeting that the investigations continue on Friday, 5th June and Saturday, 6th June 2020 at 10 a.m. for other concerned parties, and that it was still open for the invitees who had not showed up. He added that the following organizations were being expected to show up on Friday, 5th June, and Saturday, 6th June 2020 at 10 a.m. as follows: Sahara Reporters, Women and Environmental Development Agenda, Budgets, Concerned Nigerians, Independents, Diaspora Nigerians Against Corruption, and Mr. Bayo Oluwasanmi, Sahara Reporters, Mr. Babajide Otitoloju, Media Analyst TVC, Access Bank, Eco Bank, Wema Bank, United Bank for Africa, Polaris Bank, First City Monument Bank, Zenith Bank, and the Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, Honorable Eshilo Kusoni Wasiu, the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Tunde Brahimo, Chairman of the House Committee on Information, Strategy, Publicity and Security, Mr. A.A. Sani, the Clerk of the House, the General Manager, Lagos State Public Procurement Agency. 3.0, commencement of investigation on day 2. On Friday, 5th June 2020, the committee commenced its meeting at 11:27 a.m. and the chairman, Honorable Rt.Hon, informed the banks in attendance of the allegations of 64 bank accounts attributed to the Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, using a single bank verification number, BVN. He asked if the bank could confirm the allegation. Submission by EcoBank PLC. EcoBank was represented by the following officials: Mr. Tunde Daudu, Chief Compliance Officer; Mrs. Azu Atalam Elizabeth; Olajide Margaret. Mr. Tunde Daudu, the Chief Compliance Officer, gave the following clarifications: that EcoBank was mentioned twice in the allegation by Sahara Reporters, that the Speaker had only one account with EcoBank, formerly Oceanic Bank, which was opened in April 2007, that the account is a personal account, but which had been dormant since 2016. 3, the BVN quoted by Sahara Reporters was incorrect, and the bank had been making attempts to reactivate the account of the Speaker, that it is not possible to use same BVN with different names and date of birth, that it is not possible for the Speaker to change his name and date of birth in order to operate multiple accounts due to biometrics and pictures identification that will reject such conflicting entries. 7, he stated that it was not possible for an individual to operate multiple accounts with different names and with one bank verification number, BVN. The information on the Speaker's account did not emanate from the EcoBank, and it is evident in the wrongly quoted BVN number. 9, that it is illegal for banks to release confidential information of customers to a third party, except to specific organizations such as law enforcement agency like the police or the EFCC that are duly authorized by law. Where there is a breach of confidentiality, the bank code of conduct will be fully applied to punish erring staff. That the leakage of information did not emanate from the bank, as Mr. Speaker's personal information could have been obtained from any other public domain. He, however, promised to look critically into the case. And 12, that a statement of account can only be obtained where the holder of the account personally approaches the bank or duly authorizes a third party to collect such on his behalf. 3.2, submission by Wema Bank PLC. Wema Bank PLC was represented by the following officials: Mr. Kunle Adeleke, Head Public Sector business. Mr. Bolande Karim, BDM, Kafi branch. Mr. Abayomi Ayodeji, legal officer. Mr. Kunle Adeleke, the head public sector business, gave the following clarifications. One, that the BVN is synchronized with biometrics, face recognition, and date of birth. As such, it is practically impossible for anyone to have multiple accounts with different names linked to one BVN. Two, that the speaker has personal account with Wema Bank PLC, where his salary and allowances are paid. Three, the BVN servers does not reside with any bank, but with the interbank exchange, which resides with the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, and no bank staff can tamper with it or obtain information from it. Four, the Sahara reporters only stated an account number and other details in their report, but didn't state the BVN of the speaker's account with Wema Bank. 5, the BVN and the account stated in the publication are not correct, and they don't belong to the Speaker of the House. 6, it is not possible for the Speaker or any customer to use one BVN with two different dates of birth to operate account in different banks, as the banking system will reject it. 7, any change in bank details must be backed up with a marriage certificate, sworn affidavit, or newspaper publication to change any personal information with a bank. 8, that the companies stated by Sahara reporters in their publication had no linkage with Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa. 9, that the names, signature, and other details of other account numbers in the publication have no relationship with Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa. 10, that the computer system in the bank has a digital footprint system that would detect any bank staff that logged in to check any customer account or information. 11, it is not possible for a bank to obtain customers' information in another bank. 12, it is only regulatory agencies that can obtain customers' information through the Central Bank of Nigeria. And 13, that the companies attributed to the Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, through Wema Bank, Swift Mill, International Ventures, and Adebayo Adeyemi David do not belong to the Speaker, as the name, signature, or BVN in the account does not belong to him. 3.3, submission by Polaris Bank, PLC. The bank was represented by the following officials: Mr. Charles Osho, Mr. Rotimi Omotayo, Chief Internal Auditor. Mr. Rotimi Omotayo, the Chief Internal Auditor, gave the following clarifications. 1, only 3 of the 64 accounts listed by Sahara reporters was with Polaris Bank. 2 of the 3 accounts belongs to one Mr. Adebayo Adeyemi David, while only 1 belongs to Mr. Ajayi Mudashiru Obasa, and that Mr. Adebayo Adeyemi David fulfill all registration requirements with a completely different BVN, which is different from Mr. Ajayi Mudashiru Obasa, and there is no linkage between the account holders. 4, that Mr. Ajayi Mudashiru Obasa has only 1 account with Polaris Bank. The other person has a separate BVN for the 2 other accounts. It is not possible for a third party to check a customer's account without official request from the customer. Submission by Zenith Bank, PLC. Zenith Bank, PLC was represented by the following officials: Mr. John Olorundari, Chief Compliance Officer, and Mr. Sanusi Idowu Awe, the Alausa Branch Manager. Mr. Sanusi Idowu Awe, the Alausa Branch Manager, gave the following clarifications. Out of the 14 accounts quoted to belong to the Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, only 6 accounts actually belongs to the Speaker. Out of these 6 accounts that belong to the Speaker, only 2 are active, a current and a savings account. The other 4 accounts have been dormant as they have never been operated since they were opened. 3, Davidab Global Venture does not have any banking link with the Honorable Speaker, as it is a corporate account belonging to one David Adeyemi Adebayo. Submission by Mr. Onofuwote Fatai Idowu, the General Manager of Lagos State Public Procurement Agency, PPA. Mr. Onofuwote Fatai Idowu, the General Manager of the Lagos State Public Procurement Agency, PPA, gave the following clarifications that 1, the Lagos State Public Procurement Agency is a regulatory body on the purchase of goods and services for all arms of government in a transparent and auditable manner. 2, the 40 Toyota Corolla backup cars purchased for the members of the 8th Assembly were with the notices of his office and that the purchase follow due process. 3, certificate of compliance was issued for the procurement of the vehicles on 30th April 2019 in respect of the purchase of 40 Corolla backup cars. 4, the agency was communicated and it responded for the processes to continue with the approval of the purchase of the vehicle and issuing both certificate of no objection and later the certificate of compliance. 5, the purchase of the vehicles were approved by the Funds Management Committee of the House, led by the Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, and duly signed by all members of the FMC, Fund Management Committee of the House. Relevant documents were provided for on all the procurements. 7, members of the Finance Management Committee were Honorable Wahab Olumuyiwa Jimo, Honorable Adedamola Kasumu, Honorable Rotimi Olowo, Honorable Dayo Sakafafumi, and Honorable Setonji. And the purchase was budgeted for and in tandem with the provisions of Lagos State Procurement Law 2015. 4.0, submission by the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Eshilogun Sonny Wasiu. The chairman of the 9-man fact-finding and Adhoc committee, Honorable Akande OV, informed that only one allegation was leveled against the Deputy Speaker in the Sahara Reporters publication to the effect that he, Honorable Eshilogun Sonny Wasiu, and 17 others received 80 million as extra code allowances for a 5-day event in Dubai, which informed his invitation by the committee. The Deputy Speaker, Honorable Eshilogun Sonny Wasiu, described the allegation as baseless and mischievous, as he neither received any invitation to attend any event in Dubai, nor was a letter of release issued to him to attend such event, and no money was paid to him in connection with any seminar in Dubai. The Clerk of the House, Mr. A.A. Sonny, corroborated the assertion by the Deputy Speaker that the Deputy Speaker did not attend any event in Dubai and that no money was paid to him in connection with the seminar. Submission by Honorable Tunde Braimo. On the allegation bordering on the payment of 47,500,000 to organize media pally and payment of 60 million naira to social media influencer, Honorable Tunde Braimo chairman of the House Committee on Information, Strategy, Publicity, and Security, submitted as follows. That, one, quarterly media pallies where editors and selected media practitioners are briefed on the activities of the House were organized. Two, on the payment of 60 million naira to social media influencers, he described the allegation as uncharitable and informed that the House does not need to pay any influencer to promote his image. Three, the weekly slot on the activities of the House by both TVC and Lagos Television have a wider reaching effect to project the image of the House than any social media influencers. Four, the two slots which are budgeted for covers the Lagos Parliament, which is aired twice a week on TVC, and the lawmakers, which is aired on LTV8. Five, the House also publishes 40,000 copies of the Lagos Parliament, a quarterly publication magazine covering the laws passed, diaries of events, and other legislative engagement of the House for distribution all over the state, including libraries, schools, local government agency, and as souvenirs to visitors to the House, and that it was budgeted for. Six, the production of the magazine is being handled by an independent media consultant company, and that the cost of providing 40,000 copies quarterly has not changed since year 2016, and it was budgeted for. Seven, on the allegation of collecting 53 million 719,405 naira for a U.S. Nigerian Trade and Investment Global Summit without attendance by the members and staff of the House, he narrated that the event was initially slated for September 2019, which the speaker attended but was later postponed till a later date in 2019. He thereafter tendered his travel document tickets and listed other members that attended the summit to include the speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru, Obasa, Honorable Folajimi Muhammad, Honorable Sakasholaja, Mrs. Latono, and Ms. Nike Ajiboshi at the next scheduled date in November. And he highlighted the importance of the summit, which was a robust platform for the House to interface with investors and technologically exchanges that will ultimately be beneficial to the state. 9, the summit was well attended by deputy governors, and eminent Nigerians across the country. 10, only the Lagos State House of Assembly represented Lagos at the summit. 4.2, submission by the clerk of the House, Mr. A.A. Sonny. Mr. A.A. Sonny, the clerk of the House, who is the chief accounting officer, responding to questions on the allegation, stated as follows. 1, there was a seminar organized for wives of honorable members in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, which was attended by the Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, wife of the Honorable Speaker, and the wives of honorable members. One grade level 14 officer was supposed to attend but could not go, and she refunded the money. The 80 million naira was the total cost of the seminar, including airfare, tickets, and accommodation. The deputy speaker was not part of the seminar in Dubai, nor was he paid any 80 million naira. Hence, the publication cannot be relied on. 4, there was a lot of information about the purchase of vehicles by the House. He noted that the House did not buy 11 IAS buses as alleged in Sahara Reporter's publication, but that only 8 IAS buses were purchased for various committee assignments and as staff buses. And the procurement of IAS buses followed due process as evident by the certificate of compliance issued by the Lagos State Public Procurement Agency, PPA. On the 258 million naira expended on printing invitation cards for the night assembly inauguration, Mr. Clark pointed out the differences between the actual cost of the cards on the voucher and the vote book balance, which eluded the understanding of the accusers and writers. And 2, he further informed that the total cost of the entire inauguration ceremony was only 61 million naira, while the invitation cards only cost 1,113,000 naira only. 3, he pointed out that it was the vote book balance that was 258 million and not the total expenditure. Responding to the purchase of 80 cars in 11 months, the clerk of the House explained that 40 Toyota Corolla backup car vehicles were purchased for members of the 8th Assembly, which had been pending before the end of the 8th Assembly, while 36 Pedro Jeeps were purchased for the members of the 9th Assembly through the procurement processes. 2, that the backup vehicles for members of the 8th Assembly were purchased late in the 9th Assembly due to difficulties in accessing the fund for the purchase during the 8th Assembly. The Funds Management Committee, FMC members were Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru. 2, Honorable Wahab Olumuyiwa Jimo, Honorable Lowo Rotimi, Honorable Fafumi Saka, Honorable Setonji David. 4, he added that 6 Land Cruiser Jeeps were also purchased for principal officers, and he tendered the letter of no objection and certificate of compliance duly issued by the Lagos State Public Procurement Agency in the respect of the purchases. He maintained that due process were strictly adhered to in the procurement of the 6 Land Cruiser Jeeps, and listed members of the Fund Management Committee, FMC, who appended their signature for the approval of the release of fund for the purchase of the vehicles, without whose concurrence the vehicles could not have been purchased. The Fund Management Committee, FMC members were Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, Honorable Shangodara Musmola, Honorable Rotimi Olowo, Honorable Mojid Fatai, Honorable Akande Victor, and Honorable Adedamola Richard Kasumu. On the allegation that the Speaker awarded contracts to himself through proxy companies, he stated that all the facility managers do not have any relationship with the Speaker. He denied the allegation that all the companies listed by Sahara reporters were known to the House, except one, which has no affiliation with the Speaker. On the payment of 60 million naira for social media influencer, the clerk maintained that the House is dignified enough as a formal state legislative institution in Nigeria that is above the common standard of excellence, and as such does not need to pay for any image influencer. And 2, in the same vein, he described as frivolous the allegation that the Speaker's wife collected 10 million naira as monthly allowance. On the allegation that the House spent 51 million naira for a 4-day leadership summit in Austria,
which did not hold. He informed that the summit was cancelled and that no fund was ever released to any of the shortlisted participants. On the allegation of 53,719,405 naira collected by the Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, for a U.S. Nigeria Trade and Investment Global Summit, which did not hold. He stated that 1. The House was invited for the event through letters of invitation with roles played by the House. 2. Honorable members and staffs of the House attended the event, even though the event was initially slated for September 2019, which the Speaker attended. It was postponed to November 2019. 3. He listed members that attended the summit to include the Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru, who had previously traveled for the event in September, Honorable Folajimi Muhammad, Honorable Sakastolaja, Mrs. Olatono, and Ms. Nike Ajibos at the next rescheduled date in November. The Esther code given to members and staff followed approved standard rate for honorable members and staff. And 5, the trip was budgeted for under conference and seminars. 4.3, submission by the Speaker. Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa. Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa submitted as follows. 1, that the purchase of the vehicle was generally agreed to by honorable members at the parliamentary meetings. 2, he denied that the payment of 10 million naira monthly allowances was being paid to his wife and challenged the accuser to publish the details of such payment and receipt of such. 3, that his approval limit is 100 million and that any expenditure above his approval limit will be subjected to the deliberations and approval of the fund management committee, which is comprised of himself, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, and the following honorable members: Honorable Shogodara Musmola, Honorable Olowo Rotimi, Honorable Mojid Fatai, Honorable Akande Victor, and Honorable Adedamola Richard Kasumu in the Ninth Assembly. He informed further that all members of the Fund Management Committee appended their signature to approve the purchase of all the vehicles, while the petrol jeeps were also approved by the FMC, comprising the Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, Honorable Jimo Wahab Olumuyiwa, Honorable Rotimi Olowo, Honorable Fafumi Zaka, and Honorable Setonji in the eighth assembly. Sorry, it is 8th assembly. He corroborated the clerk's position on the allegation of spending of 258 million naira on invitation cards for the 9th assembly inauguration, that the cost of printing the card was only 1,113,000 naira, and that 60 million naira was not paid to any social media influencers. He denied the allegation that he tricked the former governor, Mr. Akinwumi Ambode, to approve the sum of 350 million to host the Speakers Conference in 2018 in Lagos, and wonder how easy it was for anyone to trick the former governor, who was a former accountant general of the state and auditor general for local government of the state. That all members of the House served as subcommittee chairmen during the hosting of the Speakers Conference that were saddled with different responsibilities, including hotel accommodation for the 36 speakers across the nation, who attended the conference with 3 other honorable members as participants, and each assigned their aides. And 8, that the total sum of 358 million constituted business class ticket and local transport, logistics, accommodation, entertainment and planning, logistic protocols and security souvenir for all the visiting speakers, members and aides, which was duly expended. Findings 5.0. Based on the documentary evidence and oral testimonies, the committee found that 1. The speaker has only one personal account with EcoBank PLC, which was opened in 2007 with Oshoni Bank before it was acquired by EcoBank, and that the said account had been dormant since 2016. 2. The BVN alleged to have belonged to the speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, with EcoBank in Sahara Reporters publication is incorrect. 3. The speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, does not have multiple personal and corporate accounts with EcoBank PSC as alleged, and that it is operational impossible for any customer to operate multiple accounts with different names and dates of birth, all linked to a single BVN. 4. The BVN attributed to the speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa in Wema Bank, PSC, by Sahara Reporters does not belong to him. 5. The companies, Swift Mill International Ventures and Adidas Ventures, attributed to the speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa in Wema Bank, do not belong to him. 6. Out of the 3 accounts attributed to the speaker in Polaris Bank, PLC, only 1 belongs to him, while the BVN attributed to him in Polaris Bank, PLC, is incorrect. 7. Out of the 14 accounts attributed to the speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, in Zenith Bank, only 6 actually belong to him. Out of the 6 accounts that belong to the speaker in Zenith Bank, only 2 current accounts and savings are active, while others are dormant since opened. 9. The company attributed to speaker, Davidab Ventures Limited with Zenith Bank, does not belong to him. 10. The allegation that the deputy speaker, Honorable Eshilokun Sonny Wasiu, received 80 million naira as extra code for a 5-day event in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, could not be substantiated as the deputy speaker was neither nominated to attend the event nor paid any allowances for same. 11. Contrary to the allegation of unilateral decision leveled against the speaker on the vehicle purchase, the procurement of official and operational vehicles of members was deliberated at parliamentary meetings and ratified by the Funds Management Committee, FMC, of the House, whose membership for the 8th Assembly includes Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, Honorable Wahab Olumiwa Jimo, Honorable Rotimi Olowo, Honorable Fafumi Saka, Honorable Setonji David, Mr. A.A. Sonny Clark of the House, and Mr. Amos Ajayi, Deputy Director Accounts. The approval was duly signed by all members of the FMC. 10. The purchase of 40 Toyota Corolla backup vehicle for members of the 8th Assembly was budgeted for and followed due process as evidenced in the letter of no objection and certificate of compliance issued on the contracts and duly signed by the General Manager of the Lagos State Public Procurement Agency. 11. The procurement of official and operational vehicles for members of the 9th Assembly was budgeted for, deliberated upon at the parliamentary meetings, and ratified by the Fund Management Committee, FMC, of the House, whose membership of the 9th Assembly include Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, Honorable Shangodara Musungola, Honorable Olu Rotimi, Honorable Mojib Fatai, Honorable Victor-Akande, Honorable Adedamola Richard Kasumu, Mr. A.A. Sani, Clerk of the House, Mr. Amos Ajayi, Deputy Director, Account. The approval was duly signed by all members of the FMC. 12. The purchase of 36 Toyota Prado vehicles for members of the Night Assembly and 6 Toyota Land Cruiser vehicles for principal officers, respectively, was budgeted for and followed due process as evident in the letter of no objection and certificate of compliance issued on the contracts and duly signed by the General Manager of the Lagos State Public Procurement Agency. 13. The allegation of the payment of 60 million naira to social media influencer is false. 14. The allegation of receiving 53,719,405 naira for a summit in Atlanta, Georgia, without attending same is totally false, as the Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, gave the keynote address at the summit, while other members and staff nominated attended the summit. 15. Contrary to the allegation that 11 IAS buses were purchased by the Sahara Reporters publication, but only 8 IAS buses were purchased for various committee assignment and staff buses. 16. Contrary to the 58 million, 258 million expended on printing invitation cards for Night Assembly inauguration by Sahara Reporters, the entire inauguration event ceremony cost 61 million naira, and while the invitation cards only cost 1,113,000. 17. The alleged purchase of 80 vehicles in 11 months is deliberate misinformation by Sahara Reporter, as the initial 40 Toyota Corolla backup car vehicles were purchased for the 8 assembly members, while 36 Toyota Prado and 6 Land Cruiser SUV were purchased for members and principal officers of the 9th Assembly. 18. The facilities managers in the House and all companies listed by Sahara Reporters publication do not have any relationship with the Speaker. 19. The alleged receipt of 51 million naira for a 4-day leadership summit in Austria, which did not hold, is false. No fund was released for the summit because it was cancelled. 20. The alleged 10 million naira monthly allocation to the Speaker's wife is false. 6.0 recommendations. Based on the findings above and the rebuttals from the banks, concerned honorable members, the Clerk of the House, and the Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa, the committee hereby recommend as follows. 1. The allegations against the House and the Right Honorable Speaker are frivolous, baseless, and cannot be substantiated, and should therefore be disregarded in their entirety. 2. The Clerk of the House should activate the relevant civil service rules to investigate and discipline officers found culpable of divulging official information. 3. The modus operandi of the House should be computerized and hence and enhanced with digital footprint system to monitor the activities of officers handling sensitive official information. And lastly, having disproved all allegations leveled against the Speaker and the House, a vote of confidence should be passed on the Right Honorable Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa. 7.0. Appreciation. On behalf of the members of the Adhoc Committee, I wish to express our profound gratitude to distinguished colleagues and principal officers for the confidence reposed in us to carry out these onerous assignments. My sincere appreciation also goes to the Secretariat for the time completion of these assignments. Signed, Honorable Victor Akande, Chairman 9-man Fact-Finding Adhoc Committee. Thank you. We are most grateful.
Thank you, Chairman, Adhoc Committee. Yes. Who wants to move for the adoption of the report for debate? Yes, Honorable Makinde.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the report presented by the Chairman Committee be adopted for debate.
Thank you. Who is supporting that? Yes.
I rise to second the motion as moved. I second the motion as moved.
Thank you. If you are in support of motion, say aye. If you are against, say nay. The ayes have it. Who goes first? Honorable Makinde.
Thank you, the Right Honorable Speaker. I want to thank the Adhoc Committee Chairman and his committee member for a good, well-handled. Over 2 months now, the House has been in the social media, portraying the House in a manner that someone could not ever believe for an institution that is representing an arm of government. And by this, it calls for concern for every member of the House, the staffer, and even every citizen of Lagos State, that what is happening in this noble House of Assembly. I could remember about 3-4 years ago, the upper chamber of the Nigeria House of Assembly, the Senate, awarded this House of Assembly for a good job well done. And then within 2 months plus, we can see how this repetition are being tried by the frivolous and mischievous. And I really have to thank the committee again for handling the job in a more matured and diligently. One, all the acquisition presented, led by Sahara reporters and their co-travelers, could not be substantiated with any serious document. In fact, the most annoying one is where they said the House used about millions of naira, 250 million naira if I'm correct, 258, to print an invitation. I cannot even imagine that. Is it to give it to United Nations and or what? For how many invitees would they use such a huge sum of money to print an invitation? And this thing is now going down to the community, where a CDC chairman, everybody will be calling us. What is happening in the House of Assembly? I think this is not good enough for the perpetrator of this heinous act to the House of Assembly. And another one is that they are now trying to trick a former governor of the state that they are using to come and for the holding of conference of speakers in Lagos State, where almost every one of us are either committee member of one or the other. All these ones are not good for the House. I have to, just to allow my colleagues to contribute, I have to give it to the Right Honorable Speaker for his maturity to handle this all along. And every member in this House that has good intention for the House, that will be able to manage this despite the temptation that have been coming all sorts from Sahara reporters and their co-travelers. Thank you very much.
Honorable Afini.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I would like to commend the committee for a job well done and a well-detailed report. Not trying to summarize anything. They put so much emphasis on every line put into the report. I tend to be a very technical person, and I am also proud to say that I am a Microsoft certified professional in RDBMS, that's Relational Database Management Systems, and I actually practice with it working with some organizations. So in looking at the 64 bank accounts, the petition on that, in the course of my experience in working with relational database management systems, Microsoft SQL to be exact, that's Microsoft popularly called SQL in Nigeria, structured query language. There's a concept of primary key and also maybe foreign key. Primary key is a unique identifier for tables within the database where records are kept. You have the columns and the rows in each table. So the primary key will be a column. It will be a unique identifier. No two lines, no two rows in that column can be the same. So in that way, you will know that there are some tables that there are some things that is just a given that is going to be the primary key in that table. In this case, in the interbank database, interbank exchange, definitely is going to be the BVN. So no BVN can be attached to two different information. It can be updated. And if it's going to be updated, it's going to affect every other thing attached to that BVN. So you can't have one BVN with multiple names, multiple date of birth. Just like if you go to a bank also, you can't have multiple users for just one single account. The account number is going to be the primary key there. If you go to some organizations here, like if you look at the state government, for example, there are no two employees with the same Oracle number. So in looking at that, I am not surprised about what the banks came to say here in their submissions. And what these petitioners have just been trying to do is just to whip up public sentiment for the people that are not enlightened about this or that have not had personal experience with it. Okay, not to take too much time. So, however, let me just talk about one simple personal experience. There's an acquaintance of mine. His name is Shegun, Oluwasegun Michael Oloyede. When he was in the university, he had an ID card that had Oluwasegun Ayinde Oloyede. He opened an account with GTB. But on his birth certificate, he had Oluwasegun Michael Oloyede. He opened another account with UBA with that one. When he went to do his BVN, he did his BVN with UBA. He can't operate that GTB again. When he started working, he wanted to open a current account for his salary account. He went to First Bank. That's where the company said he should open his account. And going there, he went with the ID card that had Ayinde on it. First Bank told him that they cannot take that ID card, that he has to go and bring the ID card with the name that has Michael on it, that is on his BVN. So it's that simple. So how do we want to change all these things? Now, this just shows that the acquisitions are frivolous, and for that alone, we know that all other acquisitions and petitions are very unnecessary, and they're just trying to tarnish not just the image of the Right Honorable Speaker, but the image of the Lagos State House of Assembly and the Lagos State government at large, and also the party that we're serving under. Because today, we have 40 APC members here, and they'll look at it that why do we are members of the same family, and why is this happening now? So I'm in support of what the committee has said in the recommendations of the committee. So I'm fully in support of what has been said, and I'm also support what they have said that the petitions should be disregarded and should be thrown out. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Akisanya.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Firstly, good afternoon, my honorable colleague. I would like to thank the committee for a good job done. But with this report, I don't want to say much. If you look at it very well, I don't want to go inside, to the committee. They've done a good job. And if you can see, you can get it right that with this report, Mr. Speaker, with all what they are doing, this shows they've vindicated and accelerated. And you can see with this, support of this committee, the report that the House should pass vote of confidence on the Deputy Speaker and the Mr. Speaker.
Is that all?
That's all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Honorable Masjid. Honorable Tobo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker Pro Tempore. Well, first and foremost, it's unfortunate that those who allege did not show up. Even the maximum of law say he who allege must prove. But unfortunately, they couldn't come to, prove what they have alleged. But having said that, at least with the available evidence before us, in as much as we want to thank those who cry loud, they must have it on record at the back of their mind that the members here are not fools. If truly there were allegations and substantiated, we will not wait for anybody to come and remove Mr. Speaker before we remove him ourselves. We will even beat him from here to outside. They will be the one to come and rescue him. But with what we're seeing on record, it shows is a deliberate attempt to drag the House backward or a way to take us off what we're doing. I want to beg of them. The allegation of 285 million for IV card has been cleared by clerk of the House. Records are there. They said they bought 11 IS buses. The 8 Porsches are the lots to carry out the assignments for us, for God's sake. All other allegations, bank has come to clarify. If those allegations were true, the bank will not take their reputation, their name, and send their compliance officers to come and clarify such issue on one person. For God's sake, we want to beg of them to leave this house and let this house be. Let us continue to do what we're doing. They said they went to Austria. It is clear that truly Austria program was proposed, but it was cancelled. And there was no money released to anybody. So where did they get all this information? They said they purchased another voting vehicle, Toyota Corolla. Truly, yes. That was agreed upon at the parliamentary by all members.
Honorable Tobo,
Yes,
there's
sir.
no need repeating what the committee has done justice to. Thank you.
Well, like you taught us, sir, you always tell us to ventilate whatever point we are trying to ventilate. Taught us that we should ventilate. Trying to ventilate. We will not rush to conclusion based on mere sentiments or without fact or figure. Having said that, I want to say that based on the available reports, I am in total compliance and concurrence with the report of the committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Tobin. We'll see that the day is fast spent. We have taken 2 contributions from each of the divides of the House, and I think the committee's report is so clear enough, the findings and the resolution. I think we should be moving towards adopting the recommendations as a resolution of the House. Who is mindful to do that? Honorable Setonji.
The Speaker, I want to move that the recommendation of the committee be adopted at the resolution of the House. I so move.
Who is supporting that? I can't see clearly the Honorable sitting beside Honorable Lowo. Okay. Honorable Adewale.
I second the motion as moved.
Thank you. Those in support of motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Deputy Majority Leader.
Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues. After much deliberation, Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, after much deliberation, I want to move that this House reverts back to plenary. I so move.
Who is in support of that? Honorable Okonla-Awansani.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to second the motion as moved.
In support of the motion, say aye. Those against, the ayes have it. Deputy Majority Leader.
Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, at the Committee of the Whole, the House took a report on a 9-man Adhoc committee on fact-finding, and the issue was extensively debated by honorable colleagues. But at the end of the day, the House took an adoption as a resolution of the House. And the House also decided that a vote of confidence should be passed on the Right Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, and the Deputy Speaker as well. And also that this thing should be disregarded. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Deputy Majority Leader. The recommendations of the committee are taken together and not in seriatim. So everything contained in the recommendation have been adopted as the resolution of the House. Thank you very much. DML. Please approach. Honorable Mohammed.
I rise to affirm that that was a true recap of what happened.
Thank you. Anybody that will anything?
Thank you, Right Honorable. I rise to second the affirmation as moved.
Thank you. Honorable Akinsanya, your light is on. Distinguished colleagues, before we have the last motion for the day, earlier the House was briefed about the demise of one of the staff who contributed immensely to the activities of the House and is no more. Before the last motion of the day, I would want to urge all of us to, as a mark of respect, stand for a minute prayer for the departed soul. May the soul of late Olusegun Irinle rest in peace. Thank you. Distinguished colleagues, there is a pending motion on the affirmation of what transpired at the committee of the whole. Please, those in support of the affirmation say A. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk. Distinguished colleagues, I've just called for consultation in respect of the last recommendation of the committee, which I think has been captured in the recommendation that was taken as the resolution of the House. But some of our colleagues feel that since it is a recommendation that requires action be taken, that we can take it seriatim. And that is the one that has to do with the vote of confidence on the Speaker. That is item number 4 of the recommendations. So if you are in support that a vote of confidence be passed on the Right Honorable Speaker, please say A. If you are against, say nay. The ayes have it. Deputy Majority Leader.
Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I have the approval of the Right Honorable Speaker to move that this House adjourn till 15th of June 2020 at 12 noon prompt. I so move.
Is seconding the motion? Honorable Kennedy Joseph.
Thank you, the Right Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion as moved.
If you are in support of the motion, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. This House stands adjourned to Monday, the 15th day of June at 12 noon. I rise.